What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the crypto space. This is your daily BTC update, and today I just want to be giving you guys a quick update from the video that I put out yesterday. And yeah, as you can see, BTC has made a quite significant recovery from our lows, from our last week lows, and things are looking pretty good right now. And I am pretty bullish at the moment. So I will be giving you my thoughts and why I think we are in for a few weeks of at least the starting line for a next couple of bullish weeks. So let's hop straight into it. Now, before we get started, I would really appreciate if you could give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with my videos. I post videos every day, and now I do want to ramp up my video production and post at least 2 videos a day to keep you guys updated with news and market. Basically, I want to post at least market news every day, 1 video per day. And I also want to be posting altcoin setups and trade setups that I think might be likely. Of course, this is not financial advice, not exactly trade setups. Mostly what I am looking at are swing trades for the long term. And I have been researching a couple of altcoins. So if you're interested in looking at low market cap altcoins, which I think are quite amazing and might be really good setups, give this video a subscribe to stay updated with my videos. Before we start off with any sort of charts, I want to be talking to you about some pretty big news. So as you can see, we had SEC filings. We have SEC filings this week and since last week, which is pretty big. In an SEC filing today, Alternative Investment Partners Absolute Return Fund included a section on Bitcoin for the first time ever. AIP is a part of the Morgan Stanley Investment Management. Absolute Return is basically a fund of hedge funds. And today's filing indicates that this fund will invest in hedge funds that own BTC and crypto. So basically, any hedge fund like Grayscale and Purpose, they will be investing in. Basically, what they're saying is the value of an investment fund's investments in cryptocurrency is subject to fluctuations in the value of the cryptocurrency, which have been and may in the future be highly volatile. Now you can see their SEC filing is over here. Here's their content on cryptocurrencies. This is the first time this is happening, and these guys are big. They're literally part of the Morgan Stanley Investment Management, and these are some huge names for BTC. So as you can see, here is the quote: cryptocurrencies are digital assets designed, and basically they're explaining cryptocurrencies over here, and they call cryptocurrencies an emerging asset class. And there are thousands of cryptocurrencies. The most well-known is BTC. Cryptocurrencies facilitate decentralized peer-to-peer financial exchanges and value storage that is used like money without the oversight of a central authority or bank. The value of the cryptocurrency is not backed by any government, corporation, or other identified body. Similar to fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies are susceptible or whatever to theft, loss, and destruction. The value of an investment fund's investment in cryptocurrency is subject to fluctuation in the value of cryptocurrency, which have been and may in the future be highly volatile. The value of a cryptocurrency is determined by the supply and demand for cryptocurrency. Now this is important. The supply and demand is what dictates the value. This is exactly what they're saying. The value of a cryptocurrency is determined by the supply and demand of cryptocurrency. Now, if you don't already know, this is what I have been basically going over and over again since the past week in my videos. So a couple of key points over here that I want to talk about is they are explicitly saying the value of an investment fund investment in the cryptocurrency is subject to fluctuations. Now, obviously, there's a lot of volatility and price manipulation in the BTC market, especially the smaller cryptocurrencies that don't have as much liquidity. So it is easy for whales to play around with the price. Now, they are highly volatile, and this is to be expected. And the value of a cryptocurrency is determined by the supply and demand for cryptocurrencies in the global market. Now, why is this important? As you guys know, I have been going over this over and over again in my videos. They are also saying the price of Bitcoin could drop extremely fast to zero for a lot of reasons, including but not limited to regulatory changes, a crisis of confidence, a flaw in the operational issue in the Bitcoin network, or a change in the users preferring competing cryptocurrencies. Now, we have seen this in the past as well, where BTC has had huge moves to the downside. As you can see, quite recently actually, this move to the downside was actually caused by miners in China. So with the Bitcoin network, going through a weak phase, we had a huge price dump. So they are actually stating that this has been tested by their methods, and they are confirming that these are changes that are actually affecting price. Now, apart from this, talking again about supply and demand, the value of cryptocurrencies is determined by supply and demand for cryptocurrencies in the global market. Now, why I think this is important is because, linking this back to the analysis that I've been going through over and over, what are we seeing from January to basically April? We are seeing BTC's supply has constantly been decreasing for a period, from Jan to April, January, February, March, April, that is 4 months. We have been seeing BTC constantly decrease, and the number of Bitcoins have been, taken off of exchanges and put into different wallets, different hedge funds, and this has been constantly happening for basically 4 months. And as you can see, there are a huge number of Bitcoin being taken off exchanges, and just today we saw 4,000 BTC, which is about $230 million, moved off of exchanges around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we also saw we are seeing a lot of liquidity being taken off the exchanges in terms of BTC transferred to exchanges. And apart from this, miners are still accumulating Bitcoin. So clearly, if you see from basically 29th March to 26th April, which has been a period of 1 month, miners' position has been at an all-time high. Look at this right here. We are seeing 5,000 plus BTC per day being accumulated, and this is some huge amounts of BTC. And if you don't already know this, miners are one of the key whales, one of the biggest entities in the market that affect price and that affect price movements. And if you remember, on the 15th Feb, we had a huge dump to the downside, and this was mainly caused by miners selling. And even though this was at 58,000, we are right now sitting around 58 again, and we are still seeing, we almost are hitting up. So it's pretty exciting actually. We have 15 minutes for the monthly candle to close, and this is the most bullish candle I've seen in a while on a monthly time frame. But as you can see, miners are still accumulating prices at 58,000, which again is an all-time high. Well, not exactly an all-time high, but we are still quite overextended if you look at the graph. So, taking this into perspective, that since our supply keeps decreasing, and there are a lot of hedge funds that keep exposing themselves to BTC every day. There was Next Capital, who also gave out a report. There's also Next Capital, who did where did this go? Okay, and another hedge fund that recently disclosed that they have exposure to BTC is Next Capital, which is another hedge fund. And as you can see in their SEC report, we see that they have about 6,259 shares of GBTC. It basically means they have 6,259 shares through the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And Next Capital again are pretty big. These guys are from New York, and we are seeing a lot of institutions have some huge interest in BTC right now. And again, Purpose as well. Purpose has constantly been increasing their BTC since their fund started. And if you see from the 22nd of Feb, Purpose has gone from 8,300 BTC to 18,900 BTC. Even though when they started, a price was at 48,000. And again, price was at 49,000 on this recent dump. Is this price manipulative, and could this potentially mean that hedge funds are themselves suppressing Bitcoin to, collect more as much as possible? Possibly. I'm not going to say a definitive yes, but that is definitely possible. Now, apart from this, let's quickly look at this is an amazing profile that you should 100% follow on Twitter, because this guy gives you a macro view of the market. So if you are especially if you're a technical trader who looks at only charts, you should always have an overview of what is happening right now, especially with the SEC and a lot of the background work. So let's look at the monthly. We have a monthly candle which is closing in the next 12 minutes, and to me this looks quite bullish. Like, for a couple weeks ago we were all extremely bearish. I myself was expecting 42,000, but this is what I say all the time. Like technical analysis is just a part of the problem. It is not a definitive predictive method. It is more of a guess and everybody's estimate of what is happening. So right now we can see we are at almost 58,000. BTC made a wick to the downside at 47,000, and clearly we had massive rejection over there with some huge buying pressure, and we are currently closing with a pretty bullish hammer candlestick. Basically, a hammer candlestick is when price makes a way all the way to the downside but then comes back up and closes like this. It could also be like this, where we open here, and then, we basically open here, price makes a move to the upside, and then it fails to break through, and then it makes a way to the downside all the way. It makes a way to the downside, but we see massive rejection, and we come back up and close like this. This is pretty bullish. As you can see, we are seeing this right here. We are seeing massive buying pressure come from underneath here, and right now things are looking pretty good on the monthly time frame. Another 10 minutes to close, and it looks like we will be closing pretty bullish. And on the weekly chart you can see we have a huge move to the upside from BTC. As you can see, we have engulfed the last candle, and we have another 2 days, and in my opinion I think we could possibly also be hitting 60,000 soon. But yeah, let's take a look at the daily chart. As you can see, we had some really healthy volume come in. We're seeing some good amount of buying pressure come in, and right now prices have literally gone back up 10,000 in 5 days. So, and a couple of key levels that you should be watching out for, like I said in my last video, 47,000. If we do hold this level, do not expect further downside, because as long as this level holds, this level is a key level, because this is the most amount of volume that was traded here. So even if this doesn't look like an obvious level on the charts, this is a super important level, because a lot of the volume that was traded here comes directly at 47,464. And if you can see my last video, I did mention this also. I showed you that this is a really strong on-chain level, and we had our bearish wedge. We could possibly be coming back up to test it, and if we do reject off of that, we're gonna have to wait and see what's happening. But yeah, things are looking pretty good right now, like in the short term at least. We have made our lower low, we made a high, and if this was a higher low, followed by a higher high and then a change in a guaranteed change in market structure, that would be looking pretty good. But BTC can like it's just really simple. Price can either go down, go up, or just go sideways. I want price to just go sideways, because a lot of the alts have some amazing setups, but if BTC decides to just rip from here to straight to 80,000, that's just going to be perfectly fine as well. And right now we just have to look at the BTC dominance and see what BTC is trying to do. As you can see, our low was at 49, and we have made a recovery back to 50. And the last level, the key level that I was watching back in Feb was 61, and if we did lose that, I knew all season was going to start. So if we see a bounce from here and BTC dominance rises again, that could mean an end to the alt cycle. But if BTC does just range over here, that would mean the alt cycle, we are seeing a alt super cycle with our second alt season cycle this year, and that could mean basically all the money from BTC is flowing over to altcoins, and that is the scenario I prefer. Right now I have no idea what's going to happen, so we're just going to have to wait a couple of days and see what BTC does. But the next levels that I'm looking at are obviously the 60k level. 55k is our support right now, and 51 is our low of the range. So we have broken out of 47, so we have basically 3 levels to watch. We have 51,300, which is our low of the range. We have 56,000, 56,000, which is our mid of the range, and again 59,985, which is our high of the range. I think I had a range, yeah, there we go. We basically have 3 key price points here. This is a range bound environment right now. We have BTC just going sideways, with this being a deviation, a deviation on the top where price tried to break out and then it came back into the range. Then we also have a deviation at the bottom over here where price tried to break down, obviously bounced off of our 47,000 level, which which was our high volume node basically. And again, these were 2 deviations along with the first one here. Basically we've seen price being range bound for quite a while. Now if this continues to happen, that is going to be extremely bullish for altcoins, and I do expect a lot of the alts to start having a super cycle here. And if this continues for another couple weeks, that would mean a lot of accumulation basically under resistance, which right now is 60 and 64,000, and that could mean a healthy accumulation phase for BTC before it makes a rip to the upside. So long term BTC is looking pretty bullish right now, as long as we haven't, right now again we have come back into the range. So I expect, I just expect a range bound environment. But if we do come up to 60,000, which does seem pretty likely right now, as that is what usually happens when price comes back into the range. It goes back up, tests the mid of the range, which is around 56, and then we do test the top of the range. So the top of the range is coming in at 60, not exactly 60, 59,885, 56, and 51. So these are the 3 key levels that I'm watching right now. I expect a full range bound environment right now, at least for the short time frame. But if we do come back here, we'll see if we do close above, and that would be pretty bullish. So let's take the week as it comes, and we are headed into the weekend, and the CME BTC did close at 57,300. So we do have a CME gap at 57.3, and 60,275 was our last gap. And since we've had options expiry here, like I mentioned in my last video, we've seen options expiry, and it seems more and more, it seemed more and more likely that we will be making new highs soon. And if this does happen, I am 100% ready. I am 100% ready to just go long it, especially since we have reclaimed this key level of resistance that I was looking at. That would be a confirmed, a confirmed bullish momentum for BTC. We've made a low, a lower low, a lower high, a low, maybe a higher low. And if this is a higher high, that would mean a change in market structure, which is again really good for BTC on the daily. So if you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. I am currently coming in at 100 subs pretty soon, and I am pretty excited. So if you could get me there, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, that is it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one.